Hola, buenos días, es Nico.
To put some out like that. I don't care. Where's your integrity? Where your morals? Where your values as a woman and as a mother? Where are they?
Make sure that you guys follow me on Patreon at patreon.com/NikasAesthetics. If you like video games, twitch.tv/NikasAesthetics. If you like thirst traps, instagram.com/NikasAesthetics. If you like humor, twitter.com/NikasAesthetics. I should just start linking. I should just start linking this shit in the profile. But, you know, don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of my uploads. Keep me off the streets. Alright, after that, on to the video. So today, I changed up my lighting a little bit even more. I moved the light a little closer so it's not that far away and it doesn't have a glare. So yeah, if I look a little sporadic right now, it's because I took an edible and I'm trying to get this video out before I actually, it actually hits. So we're about to smash through this real fast. Today, I'm going to be talking about something actually very serious in our community. And I made a video on it on Patreon, but this is a particular incident that blew up on Twitter. It is about, I don't even know his name. I didn't really pay attention to his name because the actual tweets and the responses that he gave disturbed me so much. So essentially, another freak Twitter account, he was saying that he masturbated with his 17-year-old neighbor. He was doing it in a creepy way, as in yeah, is 17 even legal, you know? It's in a excitement kind of way, that excited him. So when he was rightfully getting dragged, because the thing is, freak Twitter, there are some with hard morals, yeah, we like sex, but we're not gonna be weird about it. And then there's just some creeps. So luckily, this actually blew up in a exposing kind of way. Everyone was disgusted by this because it was sickening. And then he had the nerve to say, well, you know what, in Texas 17 is legal and this kid had a beard and was 6'3" and he wanted to do even more and y'all just ugly and jealous. I've never understood the thought process of, if somebody is trying to hold you responsible for your actions, they are ugly, they are jealous. Bitch, you know, I'm not one of those people that goes on people's looks, but this guy was not Denzel. He was not attractive whatsoever, especially because he's a fucking predator. It's you're not attractive, so to be oh, y'all are just ugly and jealous is a false statement, especially since you have no ground to stand on. So when people were rightfully saying, you are disgusting, you are like R. Kelly, because people don't understand. 17 is a child. 18 is a child, but it's just that legally, for some reason, across the states, once you're 18, you can have sex with whoever you want. But you can't rent a car, you can't buy alcohol, but you can have sex and also enlist in the army. Basically, they are children, part 2. Teenagers, though they are older than children and they have a better understanding of the world, they are still big kids. I look back at my teen years and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I thought, oh, I'm so mature for my age, oh, I'm so ahead of myself, and I was a fucking kid. Y'all are literally fucking big kids. If you've seen a 17-year-old, they don't even look like an adult. They look like slightly taller kids. It's weird. And I'm so glad that they lit his ass up because he started saying even creepier shit. When people were like, oh, that's why your ass is about to go to jail, you know what he said? I hope your younger brother is there. Do you see that kind of weird shit? He really leaned into the fact that he is a pedophile. I don't understand why in our community we don't talk about these things. And I'm not gonna fully address the scope of this because, like I said, I did a video on this on my Patreon, but I'm gonna say it's weird that as gay men, most of our first time sexual encounters, we are in our early teens. You know, we'll say 15 to 20-ish. 15, no, most people, I was a late bloomer, I had sex at 19, but most people are 15 to 17 to 18 for their first encounter. Why in the LGBT community are we at 15, but most of the people that we are having sex with are in their 30s to 20s? Why are we not protecting LGBT youth? Because this shit happens all the fucking time. Do you know how many stories I've heard of people losing their virginity to men in their 30s to 40s that they made off of like back pages? Back in the day when the internet wasn't really navigational, you know, when we didn't really have apps like Grindr. I mean, even when Grindr happened, that made it worse because now it's a bunch of insecure, vulnerable teens getting on these apps trying to meet members of their community. And all these older men are trying to do rather than mentor them and show them the right way and how to navigate this life, they fuck them. They fuck them and emotionally and physically scar them. Like, this shit happens all the time and y'all just don't acknowledge it. Because as soon as somebody hits ding, 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 18, they're all of a sudden available. No, bitch, they're still the same person. That's just a child that is legally allowed to have sex. And y'all don't, that's weird. That's weird, and I'm gonna point it out because anybody that is older than a good 23, even a good, no, let's say 22. If you are 22 and over, interested in an 18-year-old, I question it because I'm 24 and my mindset from when I was 18 to 19, when I lost my virginity, completely different. Completely different, and I acknowledge that I was a child back then. If you are over 22 dating an 18-year-old, you're weird. You're weird, and we're gonna talk about that because you're taking advantage of kids that are not prepared. As for the 17, you shouldn't be older than 19 dating a 17-year-old unless you were in like high school with them, but even at that age, you were a senior and they were a freshman and or junior. It's like you're still taking, it's like a dynamic that shouldn't be in place, you know? But point is, it was just very disturbing, and luckily his account got suspended because that was disgusting. And do you know how many people are on the timeline protecting a pedophile, protecting a predator? Like, y'all don't see how sick that is, and you wonder why as gay men we aren't as able to communicate with each other. I mean, I understand that most of the time we had to live our life hidden in secret, but when you look at the way that we lost our virginities, how we lost our first times, we were taken advantage of. Because even me, when I was, I want to say 18, I had just gotten into college, I was talking, no, actually no. So I'll tell this brief backstory because I told it on my Patreon. I'll just skip and fast forward. So back when I was like 16, I was on Grindr. I met somebody that was like 22. You could tell that I was 16 and we still continue to talk after I got my phone taken away because my mom found it. Because my thing is, if my mom was not as vigilant, like I hated that she was vigilant, but if she was not as vigilant, I would have been doing some reckless ass shit at 17. 16 to 17 with grown ass men. So this guy knew that I was 16. We got in contact a few years later. And at 18, he came and picked me up from my college, drove me off, and I had my first gay experience. We had oral fingering. It was all awkward and uncomfortable, but the point is, I lost my first time to somebody that was in their late 20s. Who knows? Because my thing is, who knows what could have happened to me if this person meant ill will? Because I just got into the car because I didn't know any better. I didn't have a car. I had no money because I was just working at McDonald's, bitch. It was dangerous. It was dangerous. So this discussion at large needs to be had because our youth are being taken advantage of. Our youth are being sexually molested because that is molestation. I'm sorry. I don't understand why you old freaks. Because you're freaks. You are pedophiles. Like, that is disgusting. I don't understand why you keep going, well, 16 and 17, they decide what they want to do and they practically grown and blah, 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 blah. Bitch, I don't care if 17 is the legal age in Texas. Like, you don't understand that this isn't a law so that you can go prowling high schoolers. Like, this guy literally said, this kid is still in high school. It's disgusting. And I'm sorry if I'm like ranting and yelling, but this edible hitting and I'm pissed off. I'm highly upset because it's disgusting. And I'm disappointed in our community that even when people are owning up to being pedophiles and child molesters, y'all are defending them. Y'all are defending them when they are clearly in the wrong, because you can't say that this shit doesn't happen when so many people lost their virginities to someone that old. It's sad. It's sad. And you know what? No, that's it. That's it. I have nothing more to say to it because it's just disgusting. And I hope you do better because you are a pedophile. If you are in your 30s and you're fucking 17 to 18-year-old boys, because they're not men, they're boys, you are sick and you deserve to be in prison. And I stand by that shit. So yeah, Bye.
And once again, a quick thank you to all my patrons on Patreon, and a quick shout out to my third eye tier patrons. Your support means everything to me and helps me do this a lot more smoothly. I will also be listing this week's live stream topic in case anybody wants to join in on the fun. I will see you guys there.